I see this evening working, if it's hopefully amenable to you, is that I'd like for you to participate in actually the reading of some of these Psalms. The way this is set up is, maybe it's incongruous, but I don't think of it that way. There is a tradition of Kabbalat Shabbat being about the Psalms, about a series of Psalms, which we do, in which I have a piece of the traditional, and then poetry that suggests something to me about that particular theme. And then the special psalm we do for the month of Elul, which I spent the most of my time on with readings. And Marty will be playing pieces that are just sort of to take you on a ride, allowing you to, if you wish, to check out. I'm going to encourage you, if you wanted to sing along, to do so softly, so that we might really focus on just letting that guitar music wash over us, if that's all right with you. So what we're going to do is, why don't we begin in our last row? Roseanne, is there a way, are you comfortable moving up so that we could have you join the group? Would you mind coming up at just one row? I was hoping we could fit people in the third row, but yeah, Roseanne, come close. Because otherwise it will be very hard to get people to read. Do you need one too? Oh, no, I think we have, I gave her one, but thank you so much. That's for you. I have a few more, yeah. All right, so now that everyone's sort of close by, maybe people will dribble in, but we're gonna start with our first row. Raul, we'll start with you being our very first reader. Where it gets to be, I'm coming, who doesn't have one? Oh, Nance, I was wondering where you, everybody have one of these? Yeah, okay. Anybody else who comes in? Vo, I'm gonna leave this with you. I have 2 more services they may have to share. I'm sorry? Wait, I've handled it. We're in good shape, Laura. All right. And so, Raul, would you start us off with our first reading called The Sabbath Flame? You're gonna have to be you're gonna have to be loud. Do you have let's try it with a mic. I think I can't depend on voices like me who just belt it out. People are much more classy in their delivery. Okay. So, Raul, you'll pass the mic when you're done. I will insert a couple things on the way. Go ahead. Well,
what is more fragile than the Sabbath flame, and yet what is more enduring? A single breath can extinguish its glow, yet no storm has ever blown out his light. We candle the Sabbath with the fires of the heart. We candle the Sabbath with the warmth of the human love and kindness. The courage of human striving and dignity. We candle the Sabbath with our daring to live despite the fragile of the world. May the lighting of these Sabbath candles remind us that we are light bearers, and to bear our light well, we must share our light freely.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, lechivanu, lehardlik ner, shel Shabbat.
We invite you to rise physically or spiritually for Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yadehila lemikra kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki anu v'aharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinhatanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat l'chaim. You may be seated. Marla, I'm going to ask you continue reading where it says Psalm 29.
Psalm 29. Oh. Okay. Ascribe to the Lord, O heavenly being. What was that? Ascribe to the Lord glory and oh my God.
Honey, don't worry. You know, you both do it together. It might
Ascribe
feel
to
better
the
that
Lord
way.
glory. What was that?
Yeah, Scott, do it together with her. It'll make it even more beautiful.
Glory and
And
strength.
strong.
Ascribe
To the Lord and under night.
Worship the Lord in splendor of holiness. May the Lord give strength to
the
his
people.
people. May the Lord bless his people.
May the Lord bless his people to the people
with peace.
and peace.
Beautiful.
Seeking God. O God, we seek you and come to know you by the many ways in which you are revealed. In the spring that follows winter, the light that follows darkness, and the joy that follows sorrow. In the deep, gentle love of parents, the thoughtful words of teachers, and the warm smiles of friends. In kind and generous deeds, noble and righteous thoughts, and the voice of conscience deep inside us. In the holy passages of the Torah, the inspiring words of the prophets, and the wise teachings of the rabbis. Let us seek you, God, and come to know you, that we may sing your praise forever.
Psalm 95. Come, let us rise, let us sing joyously to Adonai. Raise a shout for our rock and deliverer. Let us come into God's presence
Together,
with praise.
let us raise a shout for God in song.
For Adonai is a great God.
The great sovereign of all divine beings.
In God's hands are the depths of the earth.
The peaks of the mountains are God's.
God's is the sea, God made it.
And the land which God's hands fashioned.
Come, let us bow down and kneel.
Bend the knee before Adonai, our Maker.
For Adonai is our God.
We are the people God tends, the flocks in God's.
Psalms and songs.
No, it should, sorry about that. It should say nature is an everyday home.
Oh, got it. Sorry. Nature is the everyday home of wonder, the place where most people regularly and reliably experience awe. You can't walk down a trail without seeing beauty and decay, the pulse of life and the reality of death. Suddenly, the question of God is compelling to the most non-religious of people. Suddenly, expressing gratitude through prayer makes sense. Rabbi Mike Commons.
Charlie, will you read Dear God?
Dear God, open the blocked passageways to you, the congealed places. Roll away the heavy stone from the well as your servant Jacob did when he beheld his beloved Rachel. Help us open the doors of trust that have been jammed with hurt and rejection. As you open the blossoms in spring, even as you open the heavens in storm, open us to feel your great, awesome, and wonderful presence.
Psalm 96. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God.
The Psalms were the very first gratitude. They're the very first practice of being grateful. And they're the very first examples of radical amazement, of seeing the nature's wonders and saying, God, you must have fashioned them. They're so exquisite that it must be that you, God, had a hand in such things. And so those particular songs that Marty played were really a perfect example of noticing, of, keeping our eyes open. It is said that we are supposed to not be able to walk but a few feet before reciting a blessing, and that we are to do 100 such blessings every day of our lives. To be a revelation, David, from the Baal Shem Tov.
To be a revelation. The ideal is for a person to be a revelation oneself, clearly to recognize oneself as a manifestation of God.
Our task. God is hiding in the world. Our task is to let the divine energy emerge from our deeds.
Proximity to the sacred. Life passes on in proximity to the sacred, and it's this proximity that endows existence with ultimate significance. In our relation to the immediate, we touch upon the most distant. Even the satisfaction of physical needs can be a sacred act. Perhaps the essential message of Judaism is that in doing the finite, we may perceive the infinite.
Psalm 97. Zion, hearing it, rejoices. The daughters of Judah exult because of your judgments, O God. For you, God, are supreme over all the earth. You are exalted high above all divine beings. O you who love God, hate evil. God guards the lives of God's loyal ones, saving them from the hand of the wicked. Light is sown for the righteous, radiance for the upright. O you righteous, rejoice in God and acclaim God's holy name.
Decide. Do not imagine that character is determined at birth. We have been given free will. Any person can become as righteous as Moses or as wicked as Jeroboam. We ourselves decide whether to make ourselves learned or ignorant, compassionate or cruel, generous or miserly. No one forces us. No one decides for us. No one drags us one path or another. We ourselves, by our own volition, choose our own way.
Psalm 98. Sing praise to God with harp, and with harp harmonious song. With trumpet and shofar blast, raise a fanfare to the sovereign, the eternal. Let the sea and all it contains thunder praise, the world and all who dwell upon it. Let the rivers applaud and sing together with the mountains before the eternal, who comes to judge the earth, who will judge the world with righteousness and the peoples in fairness.
The word is our day. At Sinai, the voice of Moses came to bear the voice of God within it. We who believe that revelation is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process, must with fear and trembling, with deep humility and holy audacity, allow our voices to become bearers of the voice, the sound of
Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey.
Okay, the unpronounceable four-lettered name of God, spelled with Hebrew letters, Yeh, Hey, Vav,
Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey.
Okay, is a great voice that never ceases. Today it needs us to be its trumpet.
Today it needs us for us to be its trumpet. If we're to imagine that Shabbat is Gan Eden, is like the Garden of Eden, that would be the theme. Whoever is next, please. Psalm 99.
Psalm 99. Come exalt God and worship at God's holy hill, for Adonai, our God, is holy.
Perfect. Don't be afraid to put that mic right in front of your mouth.
Eternal God, each of us comes before you surrounded by members of our community. With them we share our happiness and it becomes greater. We share our troubles and they are dismissed. May we never be too mean to give, nor too proud to receive. For in giving and receiving, we discover you and begin to understand the meaning of life. Let us not separate ourselves from the true strength of our community, the experience and wisdom of old people, the hopes of the young, and the examples of care and courage which sustain us. Give us an open mind and a generous spirit. Our God and God of our ancestors, teach us to see each new day as a token of your love. We open our eyes to your presence in our daily lives. Strengthen us in the voice of conscience. Prompt us to deeds of goodness, and when we are tempted to take advantage of the wickedness of others, help us instead to show generosity of spirit and kindness of heart.
Amen.
Amen.
Whomever's next, please.
Dear God, open the blocked passageways to you, the congealed places. Roll away the heavy stone from the well, as your servant Jacob did when he beheld his beloved Rachel. Help us open the doors of trust that have been jammed with hurt and rejection. As you open the blossoms in spring, even as you open the heavens in storm, open us to feel your great, awesome, wonderful presence.
I thought that piece was perfect for right here because we're going to make the change into Psalm 27, which is unlike the others, which are done for Shabbat, is only done during the month of Elul. Elul, that month of self-reflection. Elul, that month where we hold a mirror up. Elul, which can be an acronym for I am my beloved and my beloved is mine. And so, within that song, that inherent tension, right? The two pieces of paper, one in each pocket. For me, the world was created, and I am nothing but dust and ashes. Who has the microphone? Okay, Rob, you're on, where it says Psalm 27 for Elul.
God is my light, Adonai Ori. Traditionally, this psalm is read every day of Elul. Its verses reflect a range of human emotion and a wavering sense of faith appropriate to these days of spiritual struggle. The speaker's confident serenity is disrupted by an anxious awareness of surrounding threats. Not certainty, but quest is the dominant mood, the search for light, peace, and strength in tumultuous times. The last verse, Wait for Adonai, suggests the value of repeated recitation of the psalm. Courage and inner peace come with patience, discipline, development of a spiritual practice.
Practice for the practice. Turn the letters around. It's a puzzle on the page each morning. Dots dance around the Hebrew letters. Their energy attracts my attention. Lamed Vav, Lamed Aleph, Lule, had I not. The Hebrew letters spell out the internal, spiritual, and emotional work I have to do. Reluctant, resistant, not yet remorseful. I rearrange the Hebrew letters, Aleph Lamed, Vav Lamed, Elul, the month when my life is full of doubt, questions, regret.
Keep going, Joy.
29 days to work the puzzle, to turn the letters around, read them in a mirror. A whole month to look at myself, to turn myself around, to put my relationships, choices, actions in a different order, to see myself in the mirror. The puzzle is visible on the page. The dots draw it back to my attention. Lule, if I don't solve it, darkness will conceal the possibility and promise of this new year, Elul. When I turn the letters around, I will see goodness, blessing, broken pieces become one.
The broken pieces makes me think of the Misha Berach that we do for those in need of healing. And this particular Shabbat, we are thinking of Patricia Barrios, Carlos Barrios, Edward and Joanne Buxbaum, Phyllis Goldblatt, Mirta Guin, forgive my pronunciation if that was incorrect, Lee Karlitz, Celinda Levine, Miriam Lyon, Peter Miller, Masha Ra'anan, Avery Spunt, and Tali Stein. And as we go around, if there's the name you would like for us to think of, please feel free to call it out. It's okay if names overlap. Go ahead, Sam. Sammy, go ahead, honey. It's okay if names overlap. Please keep going. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. And let us say, Amen. next poem, Redeeming My Life, if you'll each do just a paragraph, Beth Ann, because I'm running out of readings, but I haven't run out of people. So just do from a part of me to somber requirement and pass the mic down.
Redeeming my life, a part of me, refuses to forgive myself for my errors, my mistakes, my oversights and misdeeds. How can I redeem my life from within? This place of judgment of harsh words and somber requirements?
O God of old, God of justice and truth, teach me to restore my life through acts of love and kindness, throughout thoughtfulness and care, support of me, of my family and community. Teach me to surrender my days to the joy of service to others, the joy of concern for this world and generations to come.
Heavenly Guide, revive me and with your light, restore me with your truth, refresh me with your deeds of righteousness and charity.
So if we were reading Torah, it's a double portion tonight, Nitzavim Vayelech. And Parashat Nitzavim has 2 words in it, 2 words that have been horribly stolen and changed around. Uvacharta bechayim. Choose life is the way that people opposing abortion read the words. That's not what the Hebrew says. Bechayim. Choose in life that your children may live doesn't mean that you don't. It's been changed around. So, what does choose in life mean to you? Anybody? What does choose in life mean to you? Good. Choose in life. What does that mean, Linda? Beautiful. Choose in life. Anybody else? be present and acknowledge the presence of others in this world. Sam, what does it mean to you? Those are all such beautiful drashas on choosing in life. And I maybe would just add to them that every moment has a preciousness. And by choosing in life, we're acknowledging that with every breath. And so this particular reading based on Parshat Nitzavim, by the way, Atem Nitzavim, all of you are standing, has come to mean through our sages that every single Jewish soul was there at Sinai, even the souls not yet Jewish. And as some of you have heard, it was a pickup line at one time. Hey, didn't I see you at Sinai? But in truth, it embraces all that was and all that will be, and everybody who is part of this community in the here and now, whose shoulders we may have stood on, and whose gift of life we might even be able to bring about. And so, surely this mitzvah is not too baffling for you, nor is it beyond reach. It's very close to you, in your mouth and in your heart. You shall not threaten the rights of the stranger or orphan. You shall not take a widow's garment and pawn. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt. Tzedek, tzedek tirdof, justice, justice shall you pursue, that you may live to inherit the land Adonai your God gives you. You must not remain indifferent. Keep and heed all that I instruct you. Thus it will go well with you and your children after you for all time. This mitzvah is very close to you in your mouth and in your heart. When you reap the harvest in your field and overlook a sheaf, it shall go to the stranger, the orphan, and the widow. You must not remain indifferent. Life and death I have set before you, blessing and curse. Uvacharta bechayim, choose in life, so that you and your children may live. Blessed shall be your coming, blessed shall be your goings. You must not remain indifferent. Would the person with the mic please read our calling?
Our calling as counterpart to the play, hear our call. What's this? She may calling, page 134, 135. We remind ourselves
I just realized there's an awful lot
of
of
the
Hebrew. That
Jewish
must feel
people,
confusing.
sacred calling to live by mitzvot that lead us to life of holiness. In his final address to the Israelite, Moses utters a compelling call to righteousness, exhorting to the people to follow God's teaching. Moses reminds the nation of Israel that its very survival depends on creating a just and equitable society.
Beautiful. I'm going to take the mic and bring it over here. Go ahead, Marcia.
Thank you. It is up to us. It is up to us to hallow creation, to respond to life with fullness of our lives. It is up to us to meet the world, to embrace the whole, even as we wrestle with its parts. It is up to us to repair the world and to bind our lives to the truth. Therefore, we bend the knee and we shake off the stiffness that keeps us from the subtle graces of life and the supple gestures of love. With reverence and thanksgiving, we accept our destiny and set for ourselves the task of redemption.
Rich, you get the last word, and then
and then. And then, both men and women will be gentle. And then, both women and men will be strong. And then, all will be so varied, rich, and free. And everywhere will be called Eden once again. And then, all differences will be respected. And then, diversity will be our strength.
Before Marty does one of the last selections, this particular song I thought was a perfect poem to remember our dead. And so I would like to read the yahrzeit list first. Dorothy Abrams Aroner, Sidney Bloom, Lillian Volker, Elsie Bonham, Alexander Joseph Brinkman, Solomon Brown, Betty Cohen, George Duke, Shirley Ehrlich, Bestie Eisenberg, Nat Fields, George J. Freeman, Sidney Friedberg, Max H. Glass, Serene Goldie, Goldie Gordon, Frank Greenberg, Dorothy R. Gross, Lawrence Ryman Jones, Rose L. Lappin, Albert Lederer, Dolores Dichold Means, Milton Morris, Marie Pocus, Charles Polier, Cheryl Rosenbaum, Ella S. Rothfeld, Annie Sangerman, Rose Sheffer, Edith Weitzman, Martin Wales, Charles Wilds, Sarah Zitch, and in recent days, Philip Goldstucker, Paul Nicholson, Eleanor Ott, Natalie Ross, and Ehrlich Sens. Would the people who are observing a yahrzeit or who lost someone recently please rise first? I'm sorry for your loss. And those whose custom it is, would you please join them? And we say, Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחיי אחון וביום אחון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרמיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו amen. May the source of peace bring peace to all of you bereaved among us. Let us all say amen. Jack, forgive the admission. Did anyone have a yahrzeit that day? Please be seated. So, if we were all standing at Sinai, we all should have received the same message, that you are here for a purpose, to bring God into the world through acts of kindness and love. You do not have to finish the work, but you are not free to desist from it. It will never be finished, and you can't be discouraged. You must remember that this is your calling. This is why you breathe. Our closing song, and many thanks to Martin Cohen. Tomorrow night, Slichot, 9 o'clock study, 10 o'clock, a very beautiful service. David Hoppy will be here playing cello. And if I don't get to see you down at the bottom of the stairs where Marty and I are going to stand, I wish you a happy, healthy Shabbat and a Shana Tova Umtuka, a year filled with sweetness. Thank you for giving voice to the service this evening. Shabbat Shalom.